What's going on, everybody? J-Rad out here again with Pinnacle Land Clearing and Excavation, and got a nice gloomy foggy day here in western Colorado. We don't usually get fog like this, so won't have a beautiful mountain background this time. So wanted to kind of do a review over our machine here, our Kubota KX040-4. We've had this machine for about a year now, and kind of wanted to go over it with you guys. If anybody here is wanting to make a decision on, either starting the company, or you have a small excavation slash, landscaping company, and you might want to upgrade and you're deciding to get a bigger machine. So I always found these reviews pretty helpful, and I've done extensive research on these and other machines. We are mainly a cat company, and we've been switching over here to Kubota lately just because a lot of their newer products now have been pretty good. So kind of wanted to go over what we like and what we don't like, and hopefully that'll help you guys make smart decisions and financially stable decisions. So we already did our SVL 75 review. That's up on the channel if you guys want to take a look. This is a 2024. Bought it in January of this year, so we're at a year now. KX040. This is the non-zero tail. That would be the U series. So KX is tail swing, U series is zero tail swing. This machine is supposed to be 4 metric tons with the blade, the bucket, just all the extra stuff, the cab that you get on it. It ends up being pretty much a 5-ton machine. You're going to be at 10,000 pounds with this. So this is perfect for hauling on a 14,000 pound trailer. And if you've got a F250, it's like this booger here, then you are good for non-CDL required hauling, which is why we've gone with these machines. We really like this machine. This is a great machine, and like I said, we've been a cat company mostly, and I really still like cat. But the problem I'm having now is a lot of these companies, Bobcat, Cat, they're pretty much going to zero tail machines, and until you get up into their bigger machines, even some of their bigger machines, they're kind of going more zero tail. And the only issue I have with that is the comfort and stability of running a zero turn versus these tailed machines. Well, if you've run a zero turn for any period of time, you'll just know how bouncy they are. I mean, they are bouncy. And yeah, the U48 of this has a wider track, and it's supposed to help with that. But gravity's gravity. Weight distribution is going to, of course, be sacrificed when you get into that zero tail. With the overhang on these KXs, it is so dramatically different on how much more stable this thing is when it digs compared to the U. We had a U series before this, and man, you hop into something like this when you're digging over the side of your tracks, or the back, if you need to have downforce digging and you got your blade in back of you, basically, this thing is so comfortable digging. And that's what Kubota, I think a lot of people have a gripe with Kubota, because they say, oh, their machines are so underpowered, and they're just not going to do more than what they're made to do. And I agree with that. They're not underpowered. What they are is built safely, with safety in mind. You remember, this is a Japanese company. This is a Japanese machine. And so these things are purpose built. They are purposely built very well for the purpose they're designed to do. So the same with the SVL. You buy a John Deere skid steer, or a John Deere, maybe a Bobcat excavator, that thing will go beyond what the machine can safely handle. It will let you pick up that giant boulder that you probably shouldn't be. Will it risk bending your blade frame? Does it risk tipping your machine? Yes. And if it was just me running it, I'm experienced enough to know what is safe and unsafe, but I have employees. We are starting to switch over because what I was finding with Cat was, and Cat, they're pretty safe, but they still will go a little beyond what the machine is rated for, especially on the zero turns because they're so tippy, is we were starting to, on maybe a little bit of an incline, you would really have operators that were trying to dig out a rock or something or a stump, and you could tip that thing over. I mean, you really could. If you wanted to, you could tip that thing over, and it was getting unsafe. And so we started talking around, doing research, and everybody in our couple of local counties here about the Kubotas, and they said, yeah, these things, you're not going to have that issue, especially with the KXs. It'll try to just barely pick up the machine, and then the relief valve kicks in. And that has been a very kind of comforting to me, a little warm feeling when I'm not on the job site, knowing that the boys can't really accidentally do something stupid. Now, you can definitely purposely do something stupid, but I try not to hire stupid people. So, yeah, you're not going to find the most experienced crews, and sometimes you have to hire people that are inexperienced and train them. And this is that machine right here. This is the machine you want for hiring someone who's, every guy likes to dig around and play with machines, but you have to learn. And this machine right here is strong enough to show you how to, dig a septic leach field, grade it properly, use a dozer blade, learn how to do tracks, and do it safely while still being productive enough, because it is fully capable of doing it, that you're not going to lose money because the machine's either too big or too small. So if you are a company looking to expand, this is the machine for you. Cat has their 304s, the 303s. They're good machines, but the other reason we like Kubota is the hydraulic over hydraulic controls. The feel of the machine is just all in your hands. You can feel everything you're doing. Cat is electronic over hydraulic, so it's just way more smooth and not as fast, even though they've really tried to iron that out. These things are just they're fast enough, but you can feel everything that's happening. You feel connected to all your cylinders, because you have that hydraulic pressure in your joysticks controlling the mechanisms of this machine. So as we go over this, we'll start at the tracks. The undercarriage on this is very strong. I've had no issues with bending or tweaking or anything like that. The final drives are they are strong. The problem with this machine, and I think they've kind of ironed it out in the Dash 5s, is the hydraulic flow management is set up in a way that if you're running your dozer blade with these, it's fine. You're not going to have any issues. But if you try and run your arm with these or your carriage, then these slow down a little. It's not a lot, but just enough that if you're on a hill trying to climb or something, it's kind of annoying. But yeah, they've said they have a better hydraulic management system on the Dash 5, so I'm interested to see how that works. But other than that, the tracks have held up really, really well. The blade and the way it attaches, we have the 4-way. I just don't do enough grading with this. We use our skid steers, so I didn't get the 6-way. You do get a really nice cover with the 6-way, so this doesn't have a cover. I have not had an issue with it though. It's been very well protected. There's a flange under there to keep your bearing safe. When I grease it, it always squirts out grease first try, so I've never had a clog. Same with this one. This cylinder, everything up here is well protected, so that's nice. All the hoses are well protected. Everything here is just nice and beefy. I got pretty big hands, so everything here is just super beefy. Looks like all 1/2-inch plate, maybe probably 5/8 plate over there, or the metric equivalency. The knuckle, got a nice big cast knuckle on these things. Very sturdy, very well built. Everything on here is sized perfectly for what this machine can handle. So not gonna have any problems with the knuckle here or the swivel. The hoses are routed well. Haven't had any issues with that. The covers seem to be holding up. I wish they would have covered some of these down here. They just give them the good old electrical tape. But this doesn't see much action as far as rocks and dirts and stuff. So haven't had any issues yet. Everything here on these cylinders has been working great. No leaks. You can see we've picked up some rocks already, and this is a nice big plate. It's thicker. It's like 3/16 steel. So this is a nice big plate, which is really nice because some of these are real chintzy on other machines. The main arm is all plate, 100%. You got plate, 100% welded. It does have, you can see stiffeners inside from the welding, and then it's welded onto a cast pin holder, and yeah, everything there is cast. I believe some of the other U series are not cast. They are plate as well. But I have not had any issues with that whatsoever. The dipper stick is a bent plate with a welded bottom. And I kind of like that because these are way less susceptible to tear, not having the welded top on here. So yeah, this bent plate is really, really nice. Everything looks to be 1/4-inch steel. Very well made. All your cast pieces down here, very strong. You've got 2 pin locations, so you can have range of motion or power. And so this handles our 3-foot bucket, no issues at all. It could handle a 4-foot bucket so easy. The thumb is very strong. These are routed well. You can loosen them up to get them a little closer if you want, but they are routed, you know, just, I mean, they're inside of the thumb. So if you have a trenching bucket, these should be good. I would probably wrap those myself if I was doing more, you know, 12-inch trench kind of stuff, but we don't do a lot of that. So this cylinder, super strong. The breakout force on this is really, really nice. I think it's 9,000 pounds, somewhere right around there. The upper dipper stick, very strong. It's really nice. These little crossbars here, I don't know, I would have liked to see more of the plates than these cylinder, or I guess they're probably solid. But yeah, I mean, other than that, that has no issue. The pins, all super, super strong. Very nice pins, easily greasable everywhere. This thing just is a well thought out machine, and it's been around, shoot, 12, 13 years now. That was another reason we bought this machine, because you want to talk about a proven machine. The Japanese mentality is, if it ain't broke, do not fix it. And let me tell you, this thing is definitely not broke. I can't imagine this thing, you know, new at 12 years. This thing must have been just the best thing ever. And they've updated some stuff within it, you know, different engine management. I believe they have some new manifolds that they put in over time, but the machine itself is so proven. So if you're thinking of getting a machine that you want to last, this is it. This is a machine that I have seen regularly online, 5,000-6,000 hours on the same engine. And yeah, the machine looks pretty beat to heck, but it is solid. You'll see videos of them running. None of these pins are moving. The arms aren't shaking. The bucket shakes a little. And mainly, everybody goes, man, the buckets on the Kubotas are terrible because they're always janky. Well, nobody replaces, Kubota does these rubber washers in here. And they do that so you don't get metal on metal contact when you're rotating and pivoting your bucket. Those will wear out and nobody replaces them. And they're, a heavy 1/8, 3/16 at least. And so when those wear out, you're going to have 3/8 of an inch just boop, 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 boop over here. And everybody thinks it's the pins, and it's not. It's those. So if you're looking at a used one of these, always check those. Kubota carries them. You just have to drive your pins out, put new ones in, put new rubber seals in there. It's just a big O-ring is all it is. And that bucket should be good as new. I've rarely seen pins on these wear out. The way they make their pins and bushings, they're very well done. And again, the machine can't push past what these pins are rated for, like some other machines that I've run before. So you really shouldn't have an issue. I mean, yeah, at 4,000 hours, you're probably going to need to put new bushings in, but, you know, that's just part of owning machinery. Moving up to the carriage, been pretty happy with this. The carriage itself is very strong, very stable. The weight in the back is nice. The fill door, I run my machines backwards so I don't, and I don't know. I should probably run them forward because this window up here is going to be a lot easier to fix than this window in the back. I mean, I would assume, but I don't know. This one is sealed on. So if that's the case, if you run this forward with your arm towards your vehicle, this is going to be on your gas side. You have a lockable cap. You have a audible tone for filling up, which has been so nice. I just push that. You can hear it. And that thing will beep solid when it's full, and it'll beep faster as you get full so you don't accidentally overfill this. Just a really nice feature. The SVLs come with it too. And yeah, really like that. A lot of people have had a problem with the Dash 4 looks of being like bulbous and stuff. I mean, they're not bad. Yeah, they're not as modern as the Bobcats. I mean, the Dash 5 now is. I'd say if you took the Dash 5 and painted black and white on it, you'd swear it was a Bobcat. But I do like this design over the Dash 5 for a couple reasons. So on the Dash 5, this is a flip up, and you are going to have a little more room in the engine bay on the Dash 5 with that flip up, which is nice, but this is not bad. This 3-cylinder fits in here really nice. It is turboed, electronically managed injectors. You got fuel, oil. The oil is probably the worst part of it, but this isn't bad. I can get in here and do this really easily. It's got like a plate to catch the oil and drain it out, so it's well thought out. Yeah, on the Dash 5 you get a little more room, but what it sacrifices is here. Now this one is a swing out instead of the flip open. And the flip open has been, in my opinion, if that thing will lock, much more accessible to this hydraulic area. Looking at the Dash 5 with this flip open, it hinges somewhere right around here. And so, yeah, you have access to your air cleaner, to all your radiators, your oil coolers, and your hydraulic oil filter. But it looked like the valve body and everything else was a lot more difficult to get to. And so this is very easy to get to. Everything in here is very organized. One thing I do like about Kubota is their hose management is solid. And so everything in here, you know, I haven't seen any major rub marks on anything. All the electrical connections have stayed in place. So everything so far is done really well. I got to give it to Cat. Cat does a very good job as well with hose management. The reason I was looking at Bobcats and decided not to go with that is for the money you pay on a Bobcat, you should get a freaking steel tank. Why they still put plastic tanks with those stupid plastic sight levels, I just don't understand. I really like the glass sight level with the steel tank, especially with these things bouncing around like they do. And I don't know. I just prefer that. If you were to get a stick or something come in here and on the Bobcats, accidentally smash that tank and poke it. I can't say I've ever heard of that happening. And there's a reason Bobcat still uses plastic tanks. I'm sure it works. But for the money you spend, I want to see a steel tank, me personally. And this was cheaper than the Bobcat. So, yeah, I really like having the steel tank. Hydraulic oil has stayed pretty clean. It's just starting to turn a little bit gold. So, you know, I think they recommend that I think the filter's every 500 hours, something like that. Other than that, access in here, I like this better. This is a nice steel enclosure. You got a plastic top, you know, whatever. I wish that was steel. Other than that, this is steel. It's all lockable. So, you know, if you want to, you can lock this up. And yeah, no issues. Everything works great. In the cab is held together very, very well. You get dust intrusion like you do on any cab just from getting in and out and all that. But it does a very good job of keeping everything clean. The door still works perfectly. I mean, it is so nice and solid. It seals really well, locks well. Everything about this door has held together really, really nice. I hate janky doors. I hate that with a passion when they rattle around, and oh, that drives me nuts. So I really appreciate that this door is very well built. Nice big hinges, really nice door. In here, plenty of room. You know, I'm 6'4", 270 pounds. And on the Dash 5s, you do get, I believe, in like another 3 inches, and they've brought the engine bay out to kind of flush up a little bit better with the tail. So you gain that room here. So for me, getting in and out of the 5s is way easier. This whole thing here is probably pretty close to being the same. It has a new screen, new air vents, but this one is perfectly fine. I actually kind of like this screen. It's very basic, and yeah, it's not touchscreen, but the one thing I'm always worried about in there is like scratching it. So I have the screen protector on there still. This one, I'm not concerned about that. You're not sitting there touching it. You wipe the dust off of it, and you just get to work with it. This thing, you know, the safety arm still feels extremely solid. It goes up like it's supposed to. All of these still feel very, very solid. I mean, very solid. That is one thing about these Japanese built machines. They are solid. And another reason I went, or I've started to switch over to Kubota, is I feel some of the manufacturing methods by other companies has been lacking lately for cost savings. And the Japanese market, since they don't have a lot of the crazy technology in these, they haven't cut those out. And so they don't really need to cost save because these machines are already really affordable for what you get. So you still get a very solid machine, and it's still cheaper than the rest of them. We'll hop up in here. So yeah, fit in here really nice. With boots on, I still have room. I wish that pedal was over here. The U series, some of them have that pedal over here. And so it's just a nice little footrest. It kind of puts your feet at a nice angle to sit. But with these up, I have plenty of room to move my feet and kind of, you know, get around if I need to. Everything else. Would it be nice if the joists, I think it'd be nice if these were up a little higher for smaller people. It's not a big deal. And for me, it hasn't been a huge deal. It's just, since I am a little bit larger, my legs are really, so that's the max right there. But I'm coming close. If I have thicker coveralls on, then, you know, that one hits. So, yeah, if my legs are up, I hit a little there. And if I've got something in my pocket, again, not at all anything that I complain about every day. It's just something I've noticed. So if you don't like your arms, your joysticks touching you for whatever reason, I think Bobcat sits a little higher. Cat's kind of about the same. John Deere, I know, is definitely the same as this. It's almost, this is very similar to the John Deere. All the controls, again, very basic. This has been around forever. The wiper control is the worst in this. Like, if it's rainy or you got water on there, you got to come over here, turn around and touch it. That's kind of dumb. So it is what it is. AC, heat, idle control, throttle control, lights. The window and door has held up so well. This thing opens and closes perfectly. Windshield wiper works great. All these windows, you know, they're typical windows. If they're any cockeyed in there at all, then they're going to be tight to open, but we kind of leave this shut in here and use walkie-talkies if we have to. This one does come with a cab light, which is nice. Yeah, and I'm really happy with this. Inside of the cab is very nice, very comfortable, plenty of viewing room. I mean, everything is really visible. The pillars are probably a little bigger than some of the competitors, but I really don't care. If I was worried about side visibility, I would have got a 0 tail swing, but I don't. So, yeah, that's our review of this machine. And if you guys have any questions, please leave comments below in the comment section, and I try and answer them the best I can. But yeah, hope if you guys are trying to make a decision on a machine to buy, this helps. I've been happy with the Kubotas. I've been happy with the cats, but right now we're on a Kubota kick, so that's what we're gonna run. And now the question is, do I buy a Dash 5 or do I stay with the Dash 4? I'm gonna give the Dash 5 a little bit of time. I mean, unless Kubota wants to like throw me one and be like, here, try this, I'll try it. But as far as I can tell, they are the same exact machine. Same boom, same dipper, same bucket, same blade, same tracks, same engine. They get a different hydraulic management system, but that's about it. And of course, you get the new touchscreen and telematics. But if they're priced the same, go for it. Go for the 5, because it's going to run the same as this. If it's more expensive, we'll see if they're going to keep building the Dash 4s like the SVLs. You can still get a Dash 2. So if they're a lot cheaper, I'd say go with the 4. Again, if Kubota wants to throw me one and try and change my mind, I ran a Dash 5 on an 057. I could not tell the difference between the Dash 4 and 5. Now, in the cab, I could. It's definitely more comfortable. But if you're on a budget, Kubota's already what you're looking at because they are budget friendly. And I think the Dash 4, I've been so impressed with it. It is such a good machine that I would definitely get another one at a blink of an eye. So, yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. I hope you guys have a great and glorious weekend, filming this on a Friday just after Christmas. So hopefully you guys had a Merry Christmas, and we'll be doing some videos here of some work we got coming up, some grading and whatnot, and just trying to educate people on, you know, hopefully helping them run a business, how to do this stuff. You know, we're not perfection. We are not perfect. We're just people trying to make a living. So if you're that person too, if you need help, that's what we're going to be trying to do, is just give people information and knowledge, because it just helps us all. It helps us as a country. It helps us as a community. So I hope that this helps whoever is enjoying and watching. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.